Good afternoon, everyone. How are we? I hope you're all well. Today, we're going to be covering one of the big questions that gets asked all the time in this industry. And that is, why do I feel like shit after I've just finished dieting or I've just done a bodybuilding comp, okay? Super common for people who compete. And I mean, I guess you'll ask, what brought this on, James? Why did you decide to do this today? Well, pretty much just recently, I've coached some of them or most of them, but I've known a fair few guys who have been made sick by shit-house coaching, okay? They've been made to be sick after really bad coaching, and they feel like absolute ass after, a long prep or a long time dieting and all this. And the thing is that they don't understand why they've gotten sick. And I assume that just because I've known, say, like 20 or 30 people who've come from other coaches to me who I've had to help out, and to fix this, I think, this is something I should really be talking about. So I'm going to go over why you feel like shit and how you can actually fix it, because it's not hard to fix and it's not hard to avoid, okay? The first things first, as always, I'm going to share this up in the shred community. Excuse my inability to multitask. Cannot multitask to save my life. Bam. Right, almost done. Fuck, I'm getting quick at this now. Pretty good, I'm impressed. Bam. And I'm gonna give you the link, okay? So if this sounds like you, if you're somebody who feels like shit after dieting, never feels good, you just don't feel quite right, or you've done a bodybuilding prep, okay, and you look back on it, you're like, oh, you know what? I've never felt as good as what I did before then. Get in touch with us. We've actually got one of our boys, Joel, who'll be able to help you get started with fixing this, all right? So all you need to do is just head on to jamescampfitness.com. There's a number there which you can actually call if you're serious about getting this fixed, okay? But, now, as always, let's get into it. So with this, I want you guys to ask me questions, okay? Ask as much as you want, okay? That's what I'm here for. I'm here for you tonight for 45 minutes, so make the most of it and ask any questions that you have, because there are a shitload of people around who do have issues around this, okay? Monty, how are you, big fella? Good to have you, Derek. Okay. Oh, the other thing too, guys, is one thing I've been told recently is that if you want to see these live videos in the future, you need to actually click like. If you don't click like, Facebook will pretty much not put these in your feed, okay? So you need to click like or a comment or just something like that in order to keep seeing them. If you don't want to keep seeing them, well, you're missing out, because I've got a fucking fantastic mug, and you wouldn't be able to see me every day. So yeah, but click like if you do want to keep seeing these, because otherwise they just not pop up in your feed whatsoever, all right? Oh, I got heaps of likes after that, stoked. I was just saying that all the time so I get more likes and feel more popular. All right, but anyway, let's go on to the matter at hand, all right? Why you feel like shit after dieting or doing a bodybuilding comp, okay? The number one reason that people feel like shit after dieting or doing a bodybuilding comp is because you're not eating enough calories. You're just not eating enough fucking food, all right? What's super common in the fat loss industry is to put people on a fucking pilgrim diet, right? You know what a pilgrim diet is? It's 2 parts of bugger all, okay? You eat like 3 asparagus spears a day, 2 almonds, a quarter of a can of tuna, all that. That's it. That's literally all you're eating. And there are so many girls in particular who are doing this, all right? You're just eating literally bugger all. And the thing is, when you're eating bugger all, your body isn't happy. You're not designed to eat 2 parts of fuck all. You're meant to be able to eat a substantial amount of food and function really well on it, okay? Surprise, surprise, we actually function better when we eat better. And so if you drop your calories down too low, what happens is your body responds to this. It has an adaptation or an adaptive response to it, whereby if you drop your calories down, it will reduce its energy expenditure to align with that. And this pretty much prevents you from losing further fat, okay? And it also begins to shut your body down. You see, one of the most energy expensive processes that the body does is something called protein synthesis. And when we synthesize protein, it allows us to do stuff. Synthesizing protein is what gives us energy. It allows us to think. It makes us want sex. It allows us to lift. It allows us to grow. It allows us to lose fat, okay? All these sorts of things are made via protein synthesis. That is the building block of everything. Proteins are what we call catalysts in the body. They're enzymes, all right? So we literally reduce our enzyme production, meaning we can't do all the things that we used to do when we're eating super, super low calories. And it's shit. I'll tell you right now, it's absolutely shit. So when you drop your calories super, super low and you're not eating enough, you will feel like crap literally immediately. It will not take you long at all to start feeling like shit, okay? The first thing that you'll notice is that you're going to fight or flight. So you'll get a little bit more anxious, you won't be able to sleep well, all right? Your digestion will go downhill, okay? The second thing after that you'll notice is you'll see that your muscles begin to really flatten out. So you'll look really skinny, really drawn, okay? You'll then lose a little bit of water before then starting to store water, okay? So they're really the 3 steps that you get. And then the big one right at the end is when you start to actually hold on to fat, and no matter how low your calories drop or how much cardio you do, you feel like shit and you cannot lose any more fat, okay? So that is exactly how it will go for you. And the thing is, you actually reduce your thyroid hormone output. That is what happens. You get a reduction in thyroid hormone output, and then for guys, you also get a reduction, and girls too, you get a reduction in androgens. So in guys, you lose your testosterone, and in women, you lose your estrogen levels, and your testosterone too to an extent, which isn't as important. But yes, that is one of the ways, or one of the reasons why you're gonna feel like shit after dieting or doing a bodybuilding comp, okay? It's because you're not eating enough food. You need to eat more, okay? The next thing is that you're doing excessive amounts of cardio. If you do an absolute shitload of cardio, there's gonna be a point where you feel like crap, okay? How do you tell cardio is too much cardio? Well, if you're doing more than an hour a day and you're fucking hating it, but you're still doing it and you're getting on the treadmill because the coach tells you that you have to, you're probably doing too much cardio, okay? And on top of that, you're probably doing the wrong type of cardio as well, okay? So when you're doing excessive amounts of cardio, it is very, very stressful on the body, okay? It is mentally stressful and it's physically stressful. One thing a lot of people underestimate is how much hating something and doing it and pushing through it mentally really affects you physically, okay? When you are doing cardio on the shred mill, on the fucking hamster wheel every morning, and you're rolling over your feet for an hour at, 130 beats per minute, and you're hating it, and you're not getting outside, and you're miserable, and you just, you literally feel like killing yourself because it's so shit, okay? Then it's not going to be very good for you, is it? In fact, you'll probably notice that your stress levels go straight up and your anxiety levels go up as well, okay? So mentally, it's not great for you. Remember, when our stress levels go up and our anxiety goes up, we also reduce GABA. GABA is the stuff that slows us down and allows us to sleep. So just by doing cardio, you will inadvertently ruin your sleep, okay? And you'll elevate your cortisol levels, right? The next thing is physically. Physically, cardio is very, very draining, particularly if you're not cut out for it. For example, for me, if I do an exceptional or a very, very large amount of cardio, or anything really over 20 to 30 minutes, to be perfectly honest, I die. I feel like absolute crap. And then I actually start getting really, really weedy, okay? I'm not cut out for doing long distance steady state cardio. What I'm cut out for is absolutely fucking smashing myself. I can do intervals for an hour straight, no issues, okay? I vomit a few times admittedly, but yes, I can smash intervals for an hour straight. No issues whatsoever, okay? What I cannot do is just roll my feet over and steady state cardio, okay? That's what I cannot do because it's absolute crap, all right? It makes me lose, a lot of size, makes me feel like shit, and really, really drains me. And the other thing that we noticed in this industry is we've found that doing steady state cardio, excessive amounts of steady state cardio, right? What it does is it actually slows down your energy expenditure. So you might be burning fat, but your body actually becomes more adapted to store fat, right? So there are 2 theories to this. One is sport-specific adaptation, okay? If you are burning off fat for fuel, your body will therefore become more adept at holding on to fat for fuel and spare muscle, will get rid of excess muscle because you don't need it, okay? So that is one theory around it, which I find holds very, very true. Because if you look at anybody who does exceptional amounts of cardio, especially those cardio bunnies, they always hold fat really, really heavily and they always lose muscle really quickly, okay? Now the next one is that when you're doing cardio, it is a huge stress on the body, a very huge physical stress on the body. And when you have too much physical stress, you actually hold on to it, okay? It elevates cortisol, reduces IGF-1, the growth stuff, okay? And then just makes you feel like absolute crap. Right? On top of that too, it also drops down your thyroid hormones, particularly when combined with a calorie deficit. All right? Most of these effects happen when you are in a calorie deficit and you're already eating very, very few calories. Whereas if you're eating a lot of food and doing a fair bit of cardio, you generally stay quite fine. Okay? Now, before I go on to the next thing, I'm going to ask a few, I'm going to read over a few of the questions and answer them for you guys. So if you have anything you want us to go over, let me know. Okay, first thing here, what do we have? All right, well, I can't see it at the moment. Let me see if I can get him up. Here we go. Now, Chance just said, could you clarify the benefit of natural fats in a cutting diet? You need fats, guys. If you don't have fats, you cannot make androgens, you cannot make cholesterol, you cannot make cortisol, okay? You need to have fat in your diet. Yes, your body does regulate some natural production of this, but you need to have natural fats in your diet. Add on to this, they're also anti-inflammatory, and on top of that too, they're a very, very good energy source and are also really awesome for your gut, okay? And your joints. Next one. Nick Paulette, rock salt before a workout. What's it for? One thing a lot of my guys and girls ask me is like, James, why do you get us to take rock salt pre-workout? And the answer is this. When you take rock salt before, like pre-workout, okay, you actually get better pumps and you get a better muscular contraction. So I stole that idea from, my coach Rawdon Dubois and his podcast that he uses, all right? And that's where I got that idea from. They had an actual electrolytes expert on there, and I thought, oh, that's pretty fucking nifty. So I stole it from him. Fantastic. I rave about it. All right. Next one. Al, what would you say the best macro breakup is for fat loss, but without loss of too much muscle? Mate, it varies from person to person. Honestly, I could not answer that question. Okay. Now, the next thing. One thing that really causes a lot of people to rebound and feel like shit after dieting and doing bodybuilding shows is the use of steroids, okay? Now, it's actually come to light really recently how much some people are abusing steroids, how much some coaches are telling people to abuse steroids and go over the top with, right? So let me use an analogy for steroids to explain to you exactly how they can not be harmful and how they can. The best one's with a coffee. If you have one coffee a day, forever, it's fine. In fact, there are a large number of benefits which are associated with having one cup of coffee a day. In fact, it even extends some people's lifespans. It improves function, right? Improves brain function, reduces excessive estrogen levels, all that sort of stuff, okay? So that's one cup of coffee a day. Now, when you go up to 3 cups of coffee a day, yes, you do have some benefit, but you also have some downsides with it, such as anxiety, okay, depleted GABA levels, increased risk of cardiovascular disease, hypertension, all those sorts of things, okay? So it's a little bit more risky, but still has some good effects. Then when you go up to having like 10 coffees a day, you're fucked, all right? You lose all the good stuff and you get all the bad stuff, okay? And you set yourself up to be unhealthy for a very long period of time. And this is analogous to steroids. At a very, very low dose, steroids are actually really beneficial for you because what they do is they keep your testosterone levels in men up at the optimal level. When your testosterone levels are optimal, you're actually less likely to get diseases, okay? Stuff like diabetes, heart disease, even your cholesterol and your estrogen levels will be better managed when your testosterone levels are much higher. Not to mention your brain functions 10 times better and your libido is 10 times better, okay? All those sorts of things go with it too. When you're having a low dose, that is. When you're having a moderate dose, okay? A bit of a higher stuff. So for you guys who are running steroids in this, 500 milligrams a day or so, that's when you really, actually, you know what, 250 milligrams a day. That's what I'd say a moderate dose is, 250 milligrams a day. That's when you get into a more moderate type thing, the 3 cups of coffees a day type thing, where you're getting a lot of the benefits, but you're also starting to get some negative side effects. Well, you can if you use it for a prolonged period of time. Okay, because it is quite stressful on the liver. The liver has to work harder, the kidneys have to work harder, and if managed, it won't do you any harm really, if you manage it well, okay? You need to be very, very careful with that. However, when we go up to the other extreme, which a lot of people unfortunately are telling me that they've been, when you're running over a gram of gear a day, that can be very, very dangerous for you. Very dangerous for you. Now, the thing is, I'm actually not going off a whole heap of science here. All I'm going off is experience and going off the boys that I've worked with that have come to me on steroids and want to get off them, because that's my goal. I try to get everyone pretty much off steroids when they come to me. And so when they're coming to me running a gram or a gram and a half or 2 grams of gear a day, right, they're telling me that they're feeling like absolute shit. Okay? Now, if you think about it, when everyone talks about steroids, you think that you should feel amazing because, guys, you and I both know that having high test levels is awesome. My test levels are always up at 32, all right? And you've seen my bloods. Like, it's fucking amazing. That's why I feel so good. Part of the reason why. And for those of you who've worked with me and we've boosted up your testosterone levels, okay, in my anti-aging courses and whatnot, you know that it feels fucking awesome to have high levels of testosterone. And so when these guys are coming to me with like super high levels of testosterone but feel like shit, you know something's wrong, okay? You know something is wrong. And that's the thing. When you're running a whole heap of steroids, a whole heap of them, you're not going to feel great at all. You do not feel great. And the thing that happens is you actually put a whole heap of strain on your organs, okay? You increase your blood volume, which puts a whole heap of strain on your arteries and your heart, okay? You also seem to have some negative effects on the gut. There are some studies which show that taking anabolics actually changes your bacteria levels, okay? So it actually causes bacteria on your skin. It causes a streptococcus, a form of strep, to go into overdrive on your skin, and I can only imagine what's happening in your gut at the same time, okay? So the thing is, taking a whole heap of gear is not going to be good for you whatsoever, and it is going to end up with some negative health effects if you're doing this for a prolonged period of time. And one of the things I see all the time is these guys are running a whole heap of steroids coming into comp, okay? They're running heaps, shitloads, just pumping more and more and more in. They're just pushing. And what happens is at the end, they fall in a heap, or just before the end, they fall in a heap, okay? And that's because they're not looking after themselves well whatsoever. And the thing is, this is in twofold. The thing that you need to do, the things that you need to do, is number one, just don't run so many fucking steroids. You don't need it, all right? Anybody here is most likely not going to want to be a bodybuilder. In fact, I've got no idea why anyone wants to be like a huge 140 kilo bodybuilder, because you fucking die at 50. Where's the fun in life if 50 is your end game? Like, fuck that. I want to live to 150. Why would you want to kill yourself prematurely? So I'm not talking to those guys. If you're doing like a men's physique show, you know, any sort of show where you only need to be like less than 100 kilos, why the fuck are you running 2 grams of gear a week? You don't need it whatsoever. You do not need that much at all. In fact, you don't need anything. I got 6 Olympia qualification points with not one steroid, okay? You don't need it. Now, the other thing too, is that when these guys run a heap of gear, they run it for a long time, and it's very, very stressful on the body. So you should not be running a whole heap of gear in the first place, and on top of that, you should not be running it for a long time. And then after that, you need to look after your body, because these steroids, they actually do have a large number of effects on stuff other than just, you know, your gonads and your skin and your hormones and whatnot. They actually affect your neurotransmitters. So it seems to me that I get a lot of people who are on on high amounts of steroids who actually blow off their serotonin and their GABA, and it gives them anxiety. The particular steroids in such as Trembolone, which do this, and you need to look after it. You need to fix that. The other thing you need to be doing is you need to be looking after your gut. Stop eating shit. Yes, when you're running a lot of steroids, you can eat a lot of shit and stay lean. It happens. That's a fact of it, because one of the properties of testosterone is it is lipolytic. It will break down fat. But it doesn't mean it's good for you. Just because you look good on the outside due to pharmaceutical enhancements does not mean you're good on the inside. And if you're not good on the inside, it is going to catch up with you, and it is going to make you feel like shit. Absolute shit, okay? So look after your gut. Look after your sleep. Yes, we know you can function on more sleep when you're running high amounts of steroids, but the thing is, it's going to catch up to you. You need to look after your health. Your health is your number one priority, okay? And then on top of this too, another thing that a lot of these guys do is they run all these steroids and then they just bang, come straight off. Now the problem with doing this is that when you insert any sort of exogenous hormone into your body, it has a feedback effect, all right? So if you're running testosterone, thyroid hormones, insulin, anything, they all have feedback effects, okay? And they all affect your body in different ways. So for example, for testosterone users, what will happen in men is you actually get shut down of your natural testosterone production, which then leaves you being really, really low. And this is one thing that in a lot of people cannot be resolved whatsoever. There are studies on this which show that a lot of people who run testosterone, use testosterone, will not ever actually go back to to their previous levels, and that's partly due to them having poor protocols and whatnot. They will not go back to their previous levels, even when using post-cycle therapy. And then on top of that too, there are others who do go back to their normal levels, but they never get themselves fixed up. And this is because of a combination of their having changed their neurotransmitter levels and their brain levels, and then also the effect on the androgen receptor, okay? So you need to be really, really careful that you're not one of these people who's going to screw yourself up for an extended period of time. For a 12-week cycle, yeah, you gain 4 to 5 kilos or something like that, and you get leaner. That's great, fantastic. And what about the next year or so when you feel like absolute dog shit? It is not worth it. And the number of times I've had people come to me and ask me about this stuff, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy, okay? Now, Graffy's just asked, hey mate, is it true that a solid leg session can enhance natural testosterone levels? No, it really can't. It doesn't do anything much, man. There's nothing significant. Maybe you'll get the slightest little spike, but no, not really, man. It is not going to give you a huge bump, okay? That's the thing. It just straight out doesn't, right? Training your body will enhance your hormone levels to an extent, but anything super physiological doesn't really happen, man. It doesn't happen, okay? So yeah, however, at the same time, with that being said, I do see people get much faster results after they have been training leg quite frequently, which is why I really spend, a minimum of 2 sessions a week doing legs in general, unless the volume's really fucked up, okay? Now the next one, while we're on the illicit things, the next one is thyroid hormone, okay? When people take large amounts of synthetic thyroid hormone, what they do is they're trying to ramp up their metabolism, because thyroid hormone, or T3, is the main regulator of how much protein you synthesize. For those of you who've just joined, you're going to want to rewatch the start of the video, because I go over how the thyroid regulates the metabolism in the body and protein synthesis. But T3, or the thyroid hormone, regulates all that stuff. And so people take it synthetically in order to boost their levels. Now the thing is, with a lot of people, as humans do, we abuse drugs. Humans always abuse drugs if you're not smart about it. And you hear of people running these massive doses of thyroid hormone for long periods of time coming into a competition. And what this does is this has a negative feedback effect to your thyroid as well. And so it pretty much overstimulates overstimulates the metabolism. So the metabolism is going at a larger than normal rate, too fast for the body to keep up. And so the body, number one, shuts down the endogenous production. And then on top of that too, it actually changes the way the thyroid receptors throughout the body bind onto it. So you have like a long lasting effect from taking this thyroid, this exogenous thyroid hormone, okay? And so what you'll do is you'll have a long-term effect where you actually start gaining fat and feeling like shit. Because remember, if we go back to the start, the thyroid hormone controls protein synthesis, and when we have low protein synthesis, it will stop us from feeling good, okay? So that's what it all comes back down to, guys. If we have lowered protein synthesis, we'll feel like shit. We won't have enough neurotransmitters. We won't sleep well. We won't feel good. Nothing is going to work terribly well whatsoever, okay? So if you're taking steroids, all right, steroids are okay. There is no evidence to suggest that taking a moderate dose of steroids is actually going to have any negative effects. I've Googled the fuck out of it, I've researched on Scholar, I've spoken with some of the top guys in this industry, and there is no evidence to suggest that they'll actually do you any harm. However, just because there isn't any evidence to suggest that it will do some harm, doesn't mean you should do it, and doesn't mean that we won't find evidence of there being harm in the future, okay? If you are going to use steroids, great, that's your choice, okay? I'm not going to judge you, and nobody on here is going to judge you. But what you should do is minimize your dose, okay? And don't be a fucking dickhead. That's the number one saying of life, guys. Don't be a dickhead. If you're putting in a gram a week, okay? If you're putting in a gram a week of steroids to do a physique show where you're not even that big, you're only 100 kilos or so, what are you doing, okay? What are you doing? Seriously, what is your coach doing? What the fuck is your coach telling you to do over a gram a week? It's absolutely ridiculous, okay? The same thing with thyroid hormones. If you can't get lean without the use of thyroid hormones, then, well, you probably shouldn't be using thyroid hormones, because you've got to fix your diet and your training first, right? The next thing is, when you're using thyroid hormones, don't be a dickhead with it, okay? If you're being a dickhead and you're using 100 micrograms of T3 a day plus fucking 200 micrograms of T4 and God knows what else you can get your hands on, it's probably not going to be too good for you. And you're probably going to have some long-term effects. So just don't be a dickhead, okay? Do not be a dickhead with it at all. Treat it with respect, use minimal amounts, and only use them to enhance your already awesome gains that you're getting because you've nailed your nutrition, your training, your supplementation. One thing you cannot overcome, no matter how many fucking chemicals that you use, you cannot overcome a good training ethic or a poor training ethic, and you cannot beat training, nutrition, and supplementation. They are the three staples. I've talked to some of the best coaches in Australia who deal with a lot of clients on anabolics, right? And they all say the same thing as me. They'll all tell you that if your diet's shit, if you're training like a pussy, and your supplementation isn't on point, no matter how much gear you pump, you cannot make up for it whatsoever, okay? And then on top of that too, the worse you look after yourself, the worse you are afterwards when you stop using your steroids, okay? So you gotta be really, really intelligent with it. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, guys, now that I've gone over that, we're gonna wrap it up and you guys can ask me as many questions as you want. So just to summarize, the number one reason why so many people feel like shit after a comp or after dieting is because they've overstressed the body. They've eaten too few calories, done too much cardio, not looked after the digestive system. On top of that too, a lot of people use a shitload of gear, all right? A lot of steroids, and a lot of thyroid hormone, a lot of fucking clenbuterol, all this crap. And the way that these things affect you is they have feedback mechanisms, okay? They're not overly great on the body. They do put a large amount of stress on the body, which the body has to adapt to, okay? And they also alter your protein synthesis and change your neurotransmitter levels, particularly anabolic steroids like trenbolone, okay? So right now, ask me the questions. I'm gonna hang around as long as you guys have questions, and then after that, I'm gonna pop off. Chances just asked, what's your opinion on training abs? Would you isolate them if you can't see them yet? Your program you've got me on only isolates them twice a week, and that's good for me. Would you recommend more or less, or is it solely diet dependent? Chance, to be perfectly honest, most people don't even need to train abs, okay? In fact, literally nobody really needs to train abs at all because number one, most people can't contract their abs to save themselves. You would literally have to do a session with myself or a squat doc, Abdel, and work for a good hour on it before you can actually learn how to train your abs. And on top of that too, they also don't grow terribly well, so there's really not much point in training them anyway because you do get decent recruitment doing squats and deadlifts, okay? And the other thing, why we have you doing it is we have you doing it actually to work your anterior chain. And the reason why we have you working your anterior chain is because it actually makes your posterior chain, your back and your chest work a lot better, or that's what we see anyway. You get much better pumps and much better contractions when you do a light amount of ab work, okay, after doing your posterior work. It keeps everything in balance. Cool? Like, this is good. Food is epic. Oh my god. Alright, Jeffrey Stevenson. Jeff's asked, what are people's thoughts on having protein bars? Protein bars are fine, okay? Unless they've got shit in them. Or, unless they make you bloated. If protein bars make you bloated or contain a whole heap of sucralose and rubbish like that, then yeah, they're not going to be good for you at all, okay? Things like Quest bars are actually okay. You can get some Quest bars with stevia in them. They're stevia sweetened, and they're fine. You get stuff with sucralose, you're getting a bit dodgy. If you've got IBS, bars are going to be the worst thing ever for you, okay? They're going to be the worst thing ever for you because they contain a fiber called polydextrose, and that ferments and builds up in your gut and will make you super, super bloated, okay? Super, super bloated. Rightio. What are the other questions we've got from the Shred community? Okay, great question. Ali's pregnant, and Ali has asked, is there a way to keep shaking up my workouts without going heavy? Okay. How to shake up your workouts without going heavy is actually really, really easy. All you need to do is you need to improve your form, change your tempo up, and increase your reps. If you change up your tempo, so you're doing a slow eccentric and a slow concentric contraction, you will actually generate as much tension or more tension. You'll feel better, you'll feel more strain, all right, than what you would if you're doing quick reps, okay? So if you can do that, change the time under tension, all right, you'll be fantastic for you. Next thing is increase the reps, increase the sets, okay, and squeeze really, really hard. Adding into that as well, put in strategic pauses along the way, and you'll be much, much better. Mitch Riley has just asked, opinion on post-workout window for food. I can't eat straight after workout as I'm just totaled. Trained today and finished by 5:30 and still haven't eaten my last meal yet. Okay. The post-workout window, well, technically it does exist. It goes for 24 hours or so, science has told us. Whether, you know, I don't know about the quality of the studies, whether they're in actual trained athletes or not, but people smarter than me were writing these study ups. But pretty much, there is a post-workout window which goes for 24 hours, and what you want to do, or what I do, is I try and get that post-workout window, get some food in there as soon as possible. That's why I have you guys all taking some BCAAs or creatine or something like that post-workout to stimulate that, get that muscle protein synthesis going as soon as possible. As far as your actual food after your workout, that depends from person to person. If you can't eat at all, what you need to do is you need to take some more 5-HTP and GABA, and that'll make you hungrier because it'll relax your stomach. The next thing you can do is do a colon massage. That'll make you feel a whole heap better. On top of that as well, with your meal, break it up into smaller amounts if you want to eat it sooner, okay? Just have really small amounts, bites at a time, and it'll be so much easier to get down. Now, one question as well that I get all the time, which I got just recently in the street community, is it better to take arginine AKG tablets, or sorry, is it better to take tablets versus powder when you're looking at supplements? And the thing is, it doesn't matter at all. Tablets versus powder, neither are better absorbed. Neither are better absorbed at all. There is no difference in them. You get the same nutrient content out of both, okay? If you're talking about capsules, well, most of the time capsules are absorbed exactly the same as tablets and powder, unless they have a special enteric coating for stuff like probiotics, which means they are broken down in the small intestine as opposed to the stomach, okay? But in general, there is no difference whatsoever. Okay, the next thing, which we get asked all the time, is people saying that they're having large amounts of reflux and bloating. There is one cause for it. One cause. It's not too much fucking acid, by the way. It is not too much acid, which your doctor will tell you. Not too much acid. What it is excessive tension in your stomach. Well, excessive tension throughout your whole digestive system. When your digestive system is tight, what happens? Gas forms in there, and it pushes everything back up to the stomach, okay? And when it gets into the stomach, you have this gas coming up. The gas, when you burp, also comes up and brings up acid with it, which then goes, and that's reflux, okay? So you get that acidy feeling there. The easiest way to fix that is to, number one, stop eating like a dickhead. Number two, reduce your stress and improve your anxiety. And number three, make sure that you know your triggers. Some foods will trigger some people, others will trigger others, okay? Make sure that you know what your triggers are, okay? And then you'll be fine. Next one. Daniel Brandeboy has asked, what's the difference between arginine and citrulline malate? They are two completely different amino acids, my man, okay? So the difference between them is, yeah, they're chalk and cheese, man. Arginine doesn't actually improve blood flow. Arginine was theoretically meant to improve blood flow and make a bigger pump through the, through nitric oxide, which is a vasodilator. And citrulline malate is also a vasodilator, but it works through the salicylates, I think it is. It works through a different mechanism. Pretty much out of those two, citrulline malate causes causes extra blood flow, whereas arginine actually doesn't. Why I like arginine AKG is not for the arginine, but actually for the AKG, which has very highly anabolic properties. Alrighty, look guys, on that note, I might leave you all to it. I'm going to keep eating this for, well actually, yeah, I'll keep eating this for 2 more minutes. Any last questions, get them in, and then I'm out. Oh, it's so good. Just curious, how many of you guys on here actually meal prep yourselves? And how many get meals prepped for you? I'd be really interested to see that. Because that's it. Since I've started getting these meals, I'm so lazy and could not be bothered to cook for myself. When I went over to WA with Woodsy, literally, it was like the worst when I had to get up and chuck a bit of steak in the frying pan. I literally couldn't be bothered to do it. Like literally to get up, cut a steak in half, put it in the frying pan, and put mixed leafy greens with it was the worst part of my day, every day. Even Woodsy cooked for me sometimes, and I still had to wash up after, and that was painful enough. But he spoiled me, that bloke. Ash Hollis. Ash has just asked, what's the best way to lose love handle fat? Best way to lose love handle fat is to improve your digestion, modulate your stress, train smarter, train harder, okay, and lose more fat. People hold more fat in their love handles for who knows why, okay? Could be poorer levels of adrenoceptors there, or some, evolutionary advantage or something like that, but a lot of people do just hold it there, and it is often the last fat to go, okay? That is normal. It's not uncommon to have fat there. You just need to get leaner and leaner and leaner. Now, on meal prepping, Graffies just said, I can't cook for shit. Someone else does it. I save time and more time for sleep. That's actually a really good point. There's one thing you guys should think about is your time is really, really valuable. So if you look at your time throughout the day, if you're spending an hour on cooking, right, and that cooking serves you for the next day, right, that hour could be spent generating money or doing something else elsewhere. And so what I look at is how much is that hour of my time worth versus how much should I invest in it. And the thing that you'll find is that you will actually be cheating yourself by not spending more money in order to use that time to make more money. Say, for example, your time's worth $50 an hour. If you spent that hour, right, actually working more and earn another $50, you might be better off. So if you spend 5 hours a week prepping, there's $250 of lost income that you have. If you just invested $150 straight into getting meal plans sorted, all right, and getting that all done for you, then you're actually $100 better off if you can do extra work or sleep extra or train better, all right? So it's a different way of thinking for you. $50 is just an example, but yeah, it's a really different way of looking at it. And when you can unlock that type of thinking, then you'll actually get a shitload better at gaining results, sticking to your plans, sleeping well, and making more income. Sammy, yes, I am munching on daily fuel meals there. They're epic. Unfortunately, they're not in the US yet. But the good thing about the US is you'll be able to get extra trenbolone in your cattle, okay? Lots of steroids and lots of antibiotics, all right? So you should be looking forward to that, my man. Just kidding, you shouldn't be looking forward to that at all. Besides the free steroids, that's pretty cool. Milo's asked, what's your recommended dosage for AAKG? And is it best to take one workout only, or would you take it throughout the day as well due to its anabolic properties like you mentioned? Man, the best dosage depends from person to person. It's a body weight dosage, so it really depends on how much you weigh, how big you are. Taking it throughout the day, yeah, I wouldn't bother with that, man, to be perfectly honest, because you need to have a balance of anabolic and catabolic, okay? Next question, Tommy Looney. What is the best amino acids to stack for lactic acid buffering? Why do you want to buffer lactic acid? The body already does it itself. Mitch Riley. Mitch is spending an hour a day prepping. Oof. What do I recommend for meal plans? Will they fit my program? The thing with meal plans at the moment is that's like a booming industry, guys. So if you don't want to cook your food and you are thinking, fuck, how much is my time worth? How much time do I spend cooking? Am I actually better off getting into meal plans? The best thing is these places are popping up everywhere, all right? There's some over in WA, there's heaps over here, there's heaps in Melbourne, heaps in Brizzy, everywhere. They're literally popping up, and they're generally really, really high quality because there's good competition. So with this, if you are training with me, they will tailor your plans, they will tailor my plans to suit you and the diets that they give you, okay? So it's super, super easy. Nick Carter, what's the best meal prep company in Perth? Woodsy, one of my boys, Daniel Woods, he'll be watching right now. Woodsy, you able to help out Nick? Or Nick, get in touch with Woodsy, okay? Message him, woodsy at jamescampfitness.com, and he might be able to help you out there. Alternatively, yeah, just comment and Woodsy will get back to you, okay? All right, guys, on that note, I'm going to head out. I'm going to go chew into a fat steak, and I will speak to you all soon. as I said before right at the start of the video, if you want to keep seeing these vids, okay, you need to actually click like. Okay, a lot of people are saying, fuck man, I haven't seen your videos in ages. It's like, no, I've been doing them, they just haven't been coming up in your newsfeed. If you want to see them, make sure you click like, because otherwise Facebook and Zuckerberg, the old buddy toss bag, won't let you see it in your newsfeed. So you need to click like if you want to see more of these. If you don't want to see my mug, well, you're misguided and you've got issues. I don't want you to see it anyway, so don't click like. All right? On that note, I'll leave you all to it. Enjoy your nights, and I'll speak to you soon.